True crime. From cold cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Yes, please smash that like button, everybody. It's Jay with the Guilty of Crime, and it's Friday. It's been a long week. It's been a good, productive week, but it's been long. I tried to take a break this week, but there was too much to put out there, and today I may come back at 6:30. Everything's hinging on Madeline Soto and the Vigil, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with Jenny. Hope she's doing well. That content depends on what she's doing. But Madeline Soto Vigil is tomorrow. And the flyer I put out there before with Jenny Esquivel, who's an advocate in that case. So last night, as soon as I got off the live with Sebastian Rogers, I sit down and, eat something, and I see the Madeline Soto case again. And I thought, well, that's weird. They're showing the same content. I guess everybody just wants to see stuff they haven't seen. But I don't know if you've seen it yet. And if you have, you've watching it again with me. Univision, the Spanish station, came out with another interview that was on 410. And Mr. Andrew, regarding Maddie, obviously, he said all of the images were Maddie. And he made it pretty clear. And he tried not to make it obvious. But he did say that they're diligently working on those responsible. And he said people or persons, as well as Maddie's the only victim. You're going to hear about that. And everybody responsible for the domestic violence. And he's going to break that down for you, what that means. Why DV? Why is it domestic violence? Because of the people in the house. Jennifer Soto, time is running out for you, Jen. If your family's watching this and you're in contact with them or you're watching this, your time's running out. So I'm going to boldly say that now. Let's watch this, guys, and watch it together. I'll be in the comments with you. Check this out. Tell me what you think. And then we're going to talk about Maddie and where she was the night of the birthday party, where you think she was. How was it possible, the things that were going on, how her mom didn't know where she was, etc.
Stearns.
It's only Madeline that leaves the victim.
We're finding out definitive information about the tragedy regarding Madeline Soto from Orange, Osceola State Attorney Prosecutor Andrew Bain. Bain has given a new interview to Univision Orlando on Wednesday, April 10th, 2024, wherein he revealed that Madeline Soto is the girl abused in Stearns' videos. He also has told the public that he believes Maddie is the only victim of Stearns. I took the liberty of using dubbing software to translate the interview from Spanish to English. To try and figure out what's being said, I think we will get a good idea of what Bain expressed to the reporters.
And I appreciate plunder. If you watch this on your own without me talking, you could always go over there. But I have to get my word in, and I have to show this to you so that you know. This is, just listen carefully. I'm not going to interrupt the rest of this video. We'll talk after.
Even though a variety of voices are speaking at once, likely making it a little bit more difficult for the software to discern who is speaking and what they are saying. Questions had arisen when 60 charges showed up on the docket attached to Stefan Michael Stearns, the boyfriend of Maddie's mother, Jennifer Soto. People wondered if Stearns had other victims. Right now, from what I can make out via this translation dub from Spanish to English, State Attorney Andrew Bain told Univision, "It's only Madeline, I believe, is the victim." He also said, "We are currently working on solving her murder. It's been more than 40 days since Maddie was found, and while folks online are searching each day to see if a murder charge will be added to Stearns or someone else, Bain says that this amount of time isn't actually anything outside of the norm. Really, this is not an unusual amount of time," Bain said. It can take months before we press charges, I believe he said, in comparing Stearns' case to other similar cases. Interestingly, the reporter asked Bain, "Are there other persons of interest besides Stearns?" It sounds like he answered that they are working on it. Many people think the mother knows something, the reporter stated. Bain said it's an open investigation, so we can't comment on that. So it sounds like police are still thoroughly investigating the case, and no one has been ruled out as a person of interest in public yet. In the comments section of that video, people are questioning how the mother could not know something so horrible was going on under her own roof, especially since it obviously happened so frequently and for so many years. According to court records, Stearns' first offense against Maddie was June 19, 2019, when she was only 8 years old. Folks are asking, how could her mom not figure out that so much bad behavior was perpetrated by Stearns towards the young girl from the age of 8 up until she was 13? Also, with Stearns having 40 charges that each represent 10 or more videos or images of horrid behavior towards a child, that means that more than 400 videos or photos contain images of only Maddie as a victim. I think people are focused on how long this is taking, but we want to find the culprit or culprits, Bain said. He mentioned that he wanted to ensure the case was done correctly, without mistakes. Univision has been trying to get in touch with Jenn Soto, but has received no response. The description of that video reads, more than a month after Madeline Soto's death, prosecutor Andrew Bain confirmed that the 13-year-old girl is the only victim in the case of child abuse against Stephen Stearns, who remains detained on charges of possession of child pornography. Despite this revelation, there is still no one who faces a formal accusation with charges of murder for the death of the minor.
Over a month since Madeline Soto passed away.
We are currently working on solving her murder.
Prosecutor for Orange and Osceola counties, Andrew Bain. She confirmed that the 13-year-old girl is the only victim in the child abuse case against Stefana Stearns. 40 days have passed since the authorities found Madeline Soto's body in a wooded area of St. Cloud, but so far it is not known. No one is facing charges for the death of the 13-year-old girl. I can't keep going like this
an unusual
right now.
amount of time to have been taken to investigate this case.
Thank you.
It was one of the cases that took months before they could press charges. What I can tell you is that we are working diligently to make sure we get all the information before making any decisions about this case.
Right now, there are other persons of interest besides Stephen Stearns.
We are working
with our law enforcement agencies to ensure that anyone involved is prosecuted for Madeleine's death.
Many people think the mother knows something about this case. What can you say about it?
It's an open investigation, so we can't comment on that.
Meanwhile, the prosecutor couldn't give us an estimate of how long it will take to solve this case.
We want to make sure to do it right. That's the most important thing. I think people just want to focus on how long this is taking, but we want to find the culprit or culprits. Getting all the evidence we need in this case, we cannot rush things.
For weeks, we've tried contacting Madeline's family to get their opinion on the arrest of Stephen Stearns, Maddie's mother's boyfriend, but so far, there's been no response. Right now, we haven't.
That was really long or fast, everybody. Sorry about that. They said they're trying to get, you heard that. They're trying to get Jennifer Soto, and she's had no response. She's had no response to anybody. She hasn't been at the funeral. She hasn't gone to the memorial. She's done nothing. She's in hiding, and I understand why she's hiding, because the world is watching her, and her time is running out, everybody. It's very clear.
Received any response. For Univision News, Daniela Buitrago.
Bain was also interviewed by Fox 35 Orlando on April 3, 2024, and try as she might, the reporter could not get him to reveal Maddie's cause of death. That video is titled, Maddie Soto, State Attorney on Ongoing Florida Girls Homicide Case, and is also linked to below. So we will have no details about the medical examiner's report, and Bain doesn't want information leaked. He doesn't want to make it difficult to find a jury who hasn't heard of the case. Bain said all the things have to stay within the investigation, because the integrity of our cases depend on that information not being readily available. The last thing we need is when we see cases where you have to go out and find jurors from different jurisdictions. You have to bring in jurors to try a case, because a case has become so well known to the people in the community that we can't present a fair trial. We want to be able to present a fair trial. We want that case to be tried by the people of our circuit and the people of our circuit to determine what's the best result for that case. The reporter asked if, because of the high-profile nature of this case, Will it have to be moved? Bain said, yeah, so that's exactly the reason why they're keeping information close to the vest. Obviously, we want to make sure the public knows that we're working hard on the case, but when information and facts are leaked and things then take a turn, where those type of things have to happen, where we had to maybe change a venue, where we have to import a jury and sequester a jury for a whole month or like 2 months, depending on how long the case is going to take to present. It's a great cost to the citizens because taxpayers are paying for that. Bain said he thinks it really takes the case out of the hands of the peers that should be trying the case when publicity has an impact upon a case. The law wants you to look at peers. He said your peers should be trying a case, not somebody from a different community. Somebody from your own community should be the person people trying your case. Meanwhile, I've still been checking the court website nearly every day to see if Stearns will have any additional charges added, or if Jennifer Soto's name will appear in the court system with any charges related to this case. Thus far, I've seen no homicide charges added for either Jennifer or Stearns as of this recording on Thursday, April 11th, 2024. However, I'm praying that if Stearns did share any of these horrendous images and videos of Maddie to other degenerates, perhaps it will bust up an entire ring of people. Maybe that's what is also taking time for this crime to resolve. If anything, all of Maddie's suffering may bring down a large pedo ring and prevent future victims from experiencing her same fate. We will continue to wait and pray and hope that Maddie's case is one that gives her the justice she deserves. It is very sad that she wasn't protected on Earth, but we can pray Maddie is now living the best life.
Yes, everybody, moment of silence. Let's do that. Let's make sure that we pray that she gets justice. I feel like it should be common sense that we have to wait for the things to be properly done, but I don't have patience myself. So let's finish this and then we'll get to the next one. Sadie's mama. Send me that link by text. I didn't get it.
Life of a child in heaven that anyone can imagine. Ezekiel 37:14. I will put my spirit in you, and you will come to life, and I will place you in your own land. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken and fulfilled it, says the Lord.
All right, we're done. We appreciate let's stop that. We appreciate plunder true crime. We appreciate so much, Amanda. I'm so sorry for Madeline as well, but you say I went to the same school for a long time. When you were her age, you never thought something was going to happen that close to home. You know, I'm across the country and it feels close to home here because my daughter's that age. It's just really hard. So Sadie's mama, if you could send me that video again, I'm not sure what you're talking about. It's not at the guilty of crime address. I'm going to play this next one. We'll talk about it. Mr. Gray Hughes, the man you love to love, maybe love to hate. But he has really good maps and things. And he's bringing up the where was Madeline the night of her birthday? Do we even know? Do we think that she went home? I actually don't think she went home now that I think about it. If she didn't go home, does that mean that Madeline was with Stephen Stearns and stayed the night there? I'm going to stop talking for a minute so you can listen to this.
And gets more people to view the video. Today's video is going to take a look at the possibility that Madeline Soto did not spend the night at Jenn's condo the night of the birthday party. So Jennifer Soto, the girl who's been killed, likely by Stephen Stearns, had a birthday on February 22nd. The birthday party for that birthday.
Now, a couple of times he says the wrong name. Instead of Madeline, he says Jenn Soto, but he's doing his thing live and he's very good at what he does. You can see Yolanda Zambrano's name, and he's going to show us where the party was in relation to the school and in relation to where Maddie lived.
Was on February 25th on a Sunday. The next day she was to go to school. The birthday party was right over here at the grandmother's house of Yolanda Zambrano. That's where the birthday party was. And you can see it's very close to the school. In fact, it is only 1.17 miles as a crow flies to the school. So probably.
Yeah, I'm going to stop for a second so you can see that. I hope you can. It's real small there and there. His maps are amazing. Now, he had a video that was like 2.5 or 3 hours long. He cut this out. I think he cut it out so we can all see it. He definitely shares with Court TV and all of us. That's why he has so many people. So thank you, Mr. Gray Hughes.
You're like 2 miles because you have to drive this way and over here, but very close. And let's just do a quick recap of the case. Stephen Stearns is somebody that's been a boyfriend of Jennifer Soto, the mother of Madeline Soto, for somewhere around 8 years or so, according to some of the friends that I've interviewed.
Now, we're going to bring up a video of the friend after that thought something was going on. We're finally confirming this, guys. Everybody was thinking it was 2 years, but it's more along the line of 8 years that this has been happening. So if you think Jennifer Soto doesn't have any kind of guilt for any responsibility, think again.
Interviewed on the channel. I've done 4 interviews with friends, and if you haven't heard those, you should go check them out. And they all lived right here in this apartment. Now, when I say they all lived, it appears that Jennifer and her daughter Madeline lived in these apartments. I guess they're actually condominiums, the Venetian Bay Village.
There you go. That's where they lived, and that's where they see Stephen Stearns coming in and out of, and she'd have been 5 or 6, Carly. And it's been confirmed. Plunder said it. Gray said it. The paperwork has said it. It's been a long time. And Jen, they're coming for you.
Village condominiums here. And Stephen Stearns used to live there, but apparently a month ago moved out. But he was back in town for Jennifer's birthday, her 13th birthday. Now, does that 13th birthday have a significance? We don't know, but it might to Stephen Stearns. And apparently after the party, she returned home, according to Jennifer.
Right. She says she returned home and she saw her waking up in the morning. But listen, folks, her story's changed multiple times. And a lot of us think that Maddie was getting too old for Stephen Stearns. So this video, I'm going to cut in and out because I have stuff to say. And, we're kind of just going over theories and logistics.
In one of the interviews that she did after Madeline went missing. So Madeline Soto's body was found on March 2nd on a Friday, right here off of Hickory Tree Road. And an individual online reported that they saw a vehicle pulled over that matched Stephen Stearns' vehicle, and it was right in this area facing this direction, north. And it was next to this boxcar right here. And after they determined where that location was, they went out there and they searched around, and eventually they found her body right here in these hedges.
So I'll pause that for a second. You can all see it now. It's all corrected. Everybody's got it corrected. There was Stephen Stearns where he was parked, across the street where he had a flat tire, directly across, and then the third bush in, from what I'm told. That's where the memorial, the on-site memorial is. That's why it is where it is, everybody. So now you know.
Looks like they're made of bamboo hedges. That's what it seemed like, right next to the road. So information came out later by the investigators in a document that at 7:35 in the morning, Stephen Stearns at the apartment, let's get back to the apartment here, right here, at 7:35, he put the laptop and the backpack of Madeline in the dumpster. Now, I believe it's this dumpster right here, as I can find no other dumpsters in this complex here. So he's putting items in the dumpster at 7:35.
Pay
Is
attention.
it possible that he merely went back to the apartment to get her laptop and her backpack to put in the dumpster to make it look like she did go to school? How do we know that Madeline Soto made it home to her mother's house after the birthday party? We don't have any information on it. Did she stay overnight where she had the birthday? It's only a couple miles from where the school is. Where was Stephen Stearns?
Now, we know she didn't stay the night at the grandma's unless Yolanda was lying. That means that Stephen had a place he was staying at, and he had rented a place because he moved out of Jen's, and that means she went over to his place. But where was that? Nobody's talking.
Stearns staying? Because according to both of them, if we open up this court document here, you can see right here, the mother said she advised her daughter's stepfather, Stephen Stearns, picked her up from home. Now, you might look at that and go, I mean, this could just be a clerical error, perhaps, that he didn't pick her up. He actually drove her to school, and that was just the terminology. I mean, Jennifer Soto is a little bit clumsy with their wording, saying we did this and we did that when it was just Stephen Stearns.
No.
But what also gives validity to it is that was the interview with Jennifer.
Right.
They also interviewed Stephen Stearns, who they called the stepfather, but doesn't seem like he's ever been a father to her. He advised he picked the victim up and dropped her off in front of Peace United Methodist Preschool. Well, that's interesting, right? That means they both are saying that he went to pick her up.
That means he picked her up from the house, but he never talked about dropping her off after the party. And Jenn, and we're going to hear it in a few minutes, Jenn said that she was at the house. She saw her that night go to bed, and then she saw her at 8 o'clock in the morning. But we now know that's all a lie. So what did happen? We're going to dispel that right now.
And then we also know that Jennifer Soto says that Madeline made it home and discussed the presents with us, the presents she got. So is that with Madeline and Stefan? Is that the us that she's talking about? Let's listen to some of the comments she made in the interviews she did.
We had dropped her off close to the school. Monday morning, we took her to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school.
So even just right there, it's like we, and then my boyfriend. She does say her boyfriend took her to school in, I believe, both interviews, but she does clarify that. But you wonder why she said we to begin with. I know people do use the general we because they're like a team. But was it something that Stephen Stearns told her to say? My theory in this case is that Stephen Stearns picked Jennifer Soto because she had a small child, and he thought he could manipulate Jennifer Soto.
And he absolutely did, but I don't think he just manipulated her. I think he manipulated her at first, and when she found out she wanted his attention more, and they were competing for attention. I don't care. That's my thoughts. I've got backlash about that. That's my thoughts. That's my feeling.
Because of his interactions with her. And they were together for many, many years that Madeline Soto was alive. And so Jennifer likely trusted him. And I believe Stephen Stearns controlled Madeline Soto by perhaps saying, not to tell your mother about certain things, giving her different gifts and, trying to guilt her into not saying something or making it seem like it's okay to be doing what they're doing, but just don't tell the mom, etc. And I think Jennifer actually trusted Stephen Stearns. So when this event occurred, she was willing to help Stephen Stearns out in his story because she didn't think Stephen killed Madeline. Once Jennifer says that Stephen took her to school, we know that the story she's telling is not from her own memory. It's something she was told to say, or the story was told.
Now, the fact that she's saying we, can you all agree in hindsight and agree that she was telling a story, what he had told her to remember? Because she probably wasn't there, but she kept saying we, and she kept looking up, and we're going to see it in a second. So if you guys can agree with that, let me know. Hit the like button. Say something in the comments.
To her by Stephen Stearns. The first time that we break out of that, however, is when she says that Madeline was getting ready for school at 8 in the morning, and she saw her getting ready at 8. I always thought there was something special about the 8 a.m. sighting of Madeline getting ready for school in the morning. If that information was planted by Stephen Stearns, which it had to have been, unless you believe that Jennifer's just making it up for the hell of it, to me it seems like Stephen Stearns is controlling the situation and having her say certain things to help.
And she's protecting him, guys. It's not just Stephen Stearns. You could see him behind her. He is controlling the situation, but she's also protecting him. She doesn't want to lose this 8-year relationship she's had with this man. She just doesn't.
His story out, and she's willing to because she cares about him. The 8 a.m. sighting is odd to me because what relevance would that have had in the story? It's almost as if he wanted to prove that Madeline was at Jennifer's condo that morning, way before she was supposed to go to school. And I find that very interesting. We know that she's not telling the truth, that she saw her getting ready.
We'll see it in a second, but we also know the cops have a scanner that scanned the license plate, and we're gonna, like, when it all comes out, we're gonna see the license plate go back and forth before the 7:30 time where he's dumping the backpack, because he does go back and forth. But we don't know if Madeline was with him or if she stayed at home that night.
At 8, we also have information that at 8:19 he's driving back with her, and 8:10 he's seen on a license plate reader heading back down from the school area. So what's interesting about that is there's a license plate reader right here on West Donegan Avenue and John Young Parkway. There's also another license plate reader way up here, but I think this is the one that they were talking about from right there. And then driving around based on lights or whatever, he gets back to the apartment at 8:19. Now, also that time in the morning, the traffic's probably not really great, so it's probably a lot slower to get from here to there during that time of day. But he pulls into the complex, and police believe that he has Madeline Soto in the vehicle. They can see her, and she apparently isn't alive. So is he just now bringing her back from?
Is he bringing her back, or did she stay the night and he's just grabbing the bag, dumping it, and getting rid of her? Boston Christian, I do want to address this. Did mom kick him out of the condo then, or did he leave? And when does anyone know? He got kicked out a month before, but let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you all something right now. Jennifer Soto's parents owned that condo, okay? Yolanda Zambrano, or the dad, either one of them, they had money over her, and Yolanda was getting ready to cut Jenn off. So she made Stephen Stearns move out. They kicked him out. It wasn't because Jenn wanted him to move out. Yolanda was getting suspicious and she wanted him out. She didn't even own the condo. She did, but her parents had the money over her, so they had control who lives there and who doesn't. And that's what happened. So she was letting him come back, but he didn't live there technically for a month.
Wherever she was prior. Is it possible that Madeline stayed with Stefan that night, and then he drives back early in the morning to get her backpack and laptop to put it into the garbage? He may have even came to the house and said, hey, she's in the car. I just need to quickly grab the backpack and laptop. Okay, I got to give it to her. She forgot to bring those. So he goes into the house, grabs those, and then he puts them in the dumpster because she isn't going to be going to school.
Yes.
Because she's not alive at this point. And then perhaps he takes off, and then he drives her around in the vehicle to make it look like she is in the car and he's driving to school. That's
trigger warning on this a little bit. He's going to say something, and it triggered me a little when he said it, but yes, Yolanda was suspicious about Stephen Stearns with Maddie. Absolutely. In the interview, she talks about Maddie being a troubled girl, not being able to sleep, not being able to sleep alone. Yolanda was suspicious, and she was honing in. She didn't like Stephen Stearns, and she didn't want him at that birthday party, everybody.
Probably why he said she was sleeping on the way to school, because he wants her to be seen on various cameras. But then he pulls back into the apartment complex, which is strange, and she's still visible at 8:19. So none of the information regards to timing is accurate by Jennifer or Stephen Stearns. And, again, it's interesting to see that they both said that he picked her up. That means he was elsewhere. So when they were talking about when she came home, she looked at presents. Well, let's take a listen to that portion right now. I think it's just please. After this part right here.
We drove away at that point.
All right, listen closely, everybody, but do me a favor, hit that like button. We have 212 people in here and only not even close to the amount of likes. Keep the algorithm going so that you can see my notifications, please.
It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few minutes and then got up and walked towards the school. Around 9 a.m. when she got up, she never made it to school.
So 9 a.m. she got up? I thought you saw her getting ready for school at 8. So she said the 8 o'clock comment right after the report of Madeline going missing. She said that at 8 in the morning, she was getting ready. This comment here is days later on a television interview saying she left at 9. It could just be that she's really careless with words, etc. But I also believe that the 8 o'clock comment is not true at all. And perhaps the original story told by Stephen Stearns to Jennifer was that he dropped her off around 8:45 to 9 o'clock. And so that's what she's kind of remembering here.
See, she said 9 o'clock now. And in the first interview, she said 8. And we can go back on my stuff and watch that to clarify. But that's what she said, 8 o'clock. Now it's 9. She changes her story many times, everybody.
But then was told to say 8 o'clock in the morning, she started getting ready for school in another comment. So it's pretty interesting, the different timing. I guess she's only referring to her getting ready for school at 8. And then she left at 9. But that can't be true either, because at 8:19, he's driving back with her lifeless body in his vehicle.
School after that. On Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family, and she had the best day.
Yeah, so on Sunday, she's over at the birthday party. There's multiple people in there. I don't know if we actually know for certain if Stephen Stearns was there. I think he was likely there.
She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So
right then you might question, okay, when she went to bed, well, she showed us the gifts. Was that over the phone, or you're saying when she went to bed, that could have been over where Stephen Stearns is?
She had the best day. I just, there was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop.
So right there, she says when she got home from the party, that means she got to her house. However, is this part of her story made up too? It seems like she's delivering it more naturally when she's remembering what Stephen Stearns told her to say. She pauses, kind of looks up in the air like she's thinking about what to say because it's not her own memory. She says this pretty clearly, so it seems like it's more likely that Madeline made it home, but we cannot be sure that she made.
But if Madeline did make it home, then she knows that Stephen Stearns either stayed the night there and something happened at her house, or that Stephen Stearns came back in the morning, which is not very likely that he came back and that happened in the morning in the early hours. More than likely, he came home with Maddie, stayed the night, and then something happened in the middle of the night or in the early morning, and then he took her. It was obviously panic, or he wouldn't have put her out in the middle of, 3 rows in from bamboo trees where you can see everything. He also got a flat tire, so.
Made it home because of the way Jennifer speaks and how she's put in elements of the story that aren't true. It makes sense that Stephen Stearns perhaps had Madeline somewhere else and then said, yeah, I'll take her to school in the morning. And then in the morning, he drives over to the apartment complex and gets the laptop and backpack and puts it in the garbage can, but doesn't wake up Jennifer, because he could just say, well, you were sleeping, so I got in and got her notebook and backpack. He could even claim that she went in and got the notebook and backpack, referring to Madeline. And then he takes off. He collects Madeline, puts her in the vehicle, and then does some sort of, it's hard to say, but like a Weekend at Bernie's type of situation where she's propped up in the vehicle, driving around to make it look like.
You guys are all my age. The ones that are know what Weekend at Bernie's is, and that's a terrible reference. So my apologies for that. I wouldn't use those terms, but we love you, Gray, and we appreciate your info. If you know what that is, that's horrible. So not good.
Like she's alive and doing various things. What doesn't make sense is when he comes back to the apartment complex and she's still able to be seen. Perhaps it's a camera that was looking down and could see right in the vehicle, and she's in the back seat laying down, and they believe she isn't alive at that point. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think it's possible that Madeline Soto never made it home after the birthday party? There's been many times in this case that I've wondered about this very thing, but I'm more like 70% that she made it home and 30% that she didn't make it home. And this is all stuff that Stephen Stearns had Jennifer say because he was the quote.
I'm not really sure what Gray's saying. I don't know if he said it backwards or not, but we get the point here. And Jackie, I'm losing sleep over this, and Sebastian also. Like, I can't stop seeing the content coming, and I want to explain it to everybody, and then I wonder if you guys have seen it, and I gotta clarify things. So that's why I'm here every freaking day, because it's just on my mind. I think when these cases die down, I might not be so much, but I don't know. We'll see.
Responsible person. She came home from work late. He was the one that went to the party, and she's staying over and hanging out with him, and she just goes home and goes to sleep. And maybe there was a cell phone conversation. Hey, yeah, the presents were great. Yeah. Okay, what? Can you take her to school tomorrow? And he might have said, yeah, I'll pick up the backpack and laptop too. And the night ends, and Madeline gets killed in the night, and then Stephen Stearns drives over, gets the laptop and backpack, doesn't wake her up, and says, yeah, she's in the car. I gotta get her laptop and backpack. But it was so early in the morning. So
what do you guys think? Put it in the comments if you can. Do you think that that she made it home that night, or do you think she stayed the night with Stefan wherever he was staying? Because he was not living at the house for over a month, but we don't know where he was staying in that month, or when he came down to go to her birthday party and take her, if he actually had a hotel he was staying at. We don't know. So let me know what you think too, please.
It feels like he snuck in there and would have got those items and put them in the garbage. Now, if he was staying there overnight, why did both of them tell the story that he picked up Madeline? Can anybody explain that to me? That's pretty weird. So if he's picking her up, that means he drove over there somehow. I mean, it's weird. Did he go there in the middle of the night and kill Madeline and then drive back home and then come over in the morning again to get the laptop and backpack? This case is really crazy on the timing. I wish we had a lot more information.
And we will have more information. Everybody will know if she made it home, because the cops have the scanner for the license plate, and they'll see the license plate going back and forth on the readers. So we'll know if he came back and what time he left again. We only know part of it right now. And Jen, you would be able to clear it up for us if you were talking. If you were a diligent mom that really didn't do anything, you would be telling, you would talk to the police and let them know, and you'd give them every amount of detail. You'd speak to your lawyer. Okay. I know people will say, oh, she has to get a lawyer. That's what you do. And you're right. But you can speak to the police through your lawyer.
I'm sure they have all of the different camera shots of his vehicle driving around and moving around. There's just so many angles here. So I think we should talk about this tonight. Why don't people call into the show and we can try to work through this and figure this element out. It's absolutely wild to me. All right, everybody. If you could leave a comment in the comment section, that'd be great.
All right. Well, thank you, Gray Hughes. We love the information he puts out there. And so Sadie's mama sent me a new video. I don't know how new it is. It's fairly new. And I already started watching it, but I didn't watch it with you guys. And I barely started watching it. Now, it's a friend. It's Crime, Crazy, and Critters on the Farm. I don't never really heard of this one before. But I started watching it because it was Maddie. So if you guys want to watch this with me, I have 258 people in chat. I could either go do something else, or we can watch this together. So let me know if you want to watch this. I'll download it right now. Let me come back this way. If you guys could do me a favor and just hit the like button. If you're subscribed, great. Make sure you get the notifications while I'm talking. I'm downloading the video, and then we can watch it together. I'll stay on here if you guys are here. I mean, otherwise I can watch it by myself. This was really long, so I got to try to find the part. I don't know what part. If anybody has a time stamp, I'm downloading it right now. I don't see timestamps on this. So Sadie's mama, you sent me a video, and it's like 3 hours long, and I'm not sure where the girl is talking on the video. So we have to play it a little bit and kind of watch it. And yeah, thank you. Let's watch it. Everybody's saying let's watch it. You know, we have 257 people, and it goes up and it goes down a little bit. But I'm downloading it right now, everybody. It's got like about let's say 60 seconds top. So like I said, if you're waiting, you know, I'm always gonna shamelessly ask you to hit that like button and subscribe, because I'm here making content and I want you with me, and I want to be able to get out there and circulate, so I'm not talking to myself and I can actually do some good. So we're just about done downloading it. It's really long. If Sadie's mama, if you can text me if you have a timestamp when Maddie's friend talked about the mean man Stephen Stearns and any of that, then let me know. Just shoot me a text. All right, so we're downloaded, folks. We're good. Don't drop out of there. Let's watch it. I'm gonna play this, but I don't know where the timestamp is, or it's not timestamped, so we might have to go through it a little bit. This channel is not one that I watch ever. It just came on my playlist.
And Can just started already. My ears are bleeding right now.
All right, I'll go a little bit farther.
Plunder. This is her material. And so she is going to do some translations.
We saw that
for the friends of Maddie Soto.
Oh, the friends. There you go.
Here
Saw that message. I thought it was like, and
let's see, what is the messages? Oh, we're pretty far back. Here is.
Well, she's timestamping it for us, guys, because we can just go to Plunder. We're watching it through this. If you guys have that video, but let's watch it.
The interview with the friends of Maddie Soto. From what they got to say.
I've never seen this.
According to the friends, Stearns was mean to her.
Best friend describes her as a happy girl.
She had a smile on her face all day, shining like a star.
At some point, she Daisy, Kusai, and she told him something felt wrong at her home, that she had encountered some problems.
In 2022, she said her stepfather was very mean to her. But when I saw that message, I thought it was like
something normal, like they fought because, something normal. Just a year when, according to the authorities, Stephen Stearns would have abused a child under 12 years of age. The reaction of the parents was immediate.
To the community, take care of the children, not just your own. Always watch over the children outside. Ensure no one approaches them to pet them, to touch them. And teach the children from an early age, from 2, 3, 4 years old. They say things that are happening to them, and one should believe them because there are parents who do not believe them.
Disney World Communications may have stated that Stephen Stearns does not work for the company, but sleuths are uncovering Stearns in his apparent role in working in Epcot.
Isn't that something that Disney is right?
Okay, everybody, I found the video. I'm sorry. I'm going to pull this off because I don't know this channel and I don't know what's going to come up on it. And it looks like she has ads on it while we're playing it. So let's just watch this together. Let's watch this, and I'm going to download it right now. It takes a second, and we'll just watch it together. We'll talk about it. I always speed it up a little because I want to get to the point, and I talk a lot faster.
At the Mass, we saw how even their teachers prayed to God for the rest of their soul. Some of her friends, with permission from their parents, shared on camera how they feel now that their friend Maddie, as they call her, has left this plane.
Body found at school event. Everyone at school is sad. Monday and Tuesday, the teachers were crying. I have a teacher who couldn't even speak, and she even knew Maddie and her family.
Her best friend describes her as a happy girl.
She had a smile on her face all day, shining like a star.
At some point, she Daisy, and she told him something felt wrong at her home, that she had encountered some problems.
In 2022, she said her stepfather was very mean to her. But when I saw that message, I thought it was like
something normal, like they fought because, something normal. Just a year when, according to the authorities, Stephen Stearns would have abused a child under 12 years of age. The reaction of the parents was immediate.
To the community, take care of the children, not just your own. Always watch over the children outside. Ensure no one approaches them to pet them, to touch them. And teach the children from an early age, from 2, 3, 4 years old. They say things that are happening to them, and one should believe them because there are parents who do not believe them.
Disney World Communications may have stated that Stephen Stearns does not work for the company, but sleuths are uncovering Stearns in his apparent role in working in Epcot in past months, just as he stated on social media prior to his arrest in the tragic case of Madeline Soto.
So Plunder, we appreciate you. I watched this before. I didn't remember, and it never has got onto my radar to just play this, but I try to listen to what you guys say. I have trusted people like Sadie's mama, my day oneers, Carly, and many other people. So thank you. Let's watch this together.
As we await more news about the case, I've been digging more into the words of her classmates and best friend in the wake of the recent mass held for the 13-year-old girl. I've paid for a program that will translate their words from Spanish to English and dub them in English, as you heard in the opening of this video.
Yeah, if anyone could translate this better, I know this is AI. A lot of people have offered to translate this, but I haven't actually had anyone translate it for me. So, you know, if you can do that or do a video, if you want to, we don't even need the video. I can put the video with no volume and let you talk, or you can come on and translate it. Anybody wants to do that, just message me.
Video. Maddie's best friend, Joseph Andrade, spoke of how despite any problems the young girl had been experiencing, she still smiled. She had a smile on her face all day, shining like a star, Joseph said. However, when asked about the specific kind of problems encountered at home, Maddie's best friend said that in 2022, she said her stepfather was very mean to her. Notably, 2022 was the year that Stearns allegedly committed unspeakable acts against a child. According to the arrest warrant in the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit of Osceola County, Florida, in the case of the state of Florida versus Stephen Michael Stearns, defendant, the Kissimmee Police Department, alleged that on or between the dates of 03/20/2022 to 12/03/2023, Stearns did violate a child. Maddie's best friend seemed like he had more to say when he began saying, "But when I saw that message, I thought it was like," and the boy trailed off or paused. The reporter jumped in and asked if Maddie's message was something normal, like because they fought, because like, something normal. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear the rest of Joseph's.
Maddie was beautiful, and may she rest in peace. And if you see those baby pictures that we just showed before, that my heart breaks for her. So cute, such a beautiful baby. I don't know how anyone could do that to her. And happy birthday, Lucifer's mom.
Answer. It sounds as if Maddie texted Joseph about problems in her home life with Stearns. However, Joseph seems to parrot the reporter when he described the problems as just normal problems, instead of going into more depth about what Maddie may have told him. There may have been more to the interview, credited to Univision, but only snippets were published. Perhaps she didn't tell him much more. Maybe Maddie did tell at least one teacher what she was going through. Maybe not. Either way, any help that anyone likely attempted to give the young girl must have fallen on deaf ears, since she was still allowed to be in the dangerous care of Stearns.
Like a whole is missing because everybody at school even, they're like sad.
Everybody was devastated. A lot of people crying, teachers crying, students crying.
I was like in shock. Like that was like the first time I heard something like that. So to get justice, it would like, there's still going to be a hole in people's hearts, but it might close it a bit more just if there's justice.
Prior to Maddie being found, her grandmother gave an interview to Telemundo 31.
The school where she studied and also lived for a few days with her mother. Let's hear what her grandmother had to say.
But my daughter worked the night before on Sunday. And it seems she woke up very tired and told her boyfriend to take her home. It was postponed to Saturday.
That is the first part of the routine the boyfriend frequently follows.
Always mine. And in the church's chambers, they see a girl with a green sweater where she sits in the parking lot for a while. And a few minutes later, she gets up and heads to school. That's all that's known about her. And each day that goes by is worse. One loses hope after almost 3 days missing. We don't know what to do anymore. In my mind, I think someone took her.
No. It's worth noting that Telemundo 31 has been the only media outlet to have moved here to these areas of the city county to bring you these images. Also, from Orange County.
Is that?
But there too, imagine, we checked the apartment. From Madeline Soto's mom, who is also wearing a yellow tape as part of the investigations.
Yolanda Zambrano told Telemundo 31 that her daughter, Jennifer Soto, worked the night before Madeline's disappearance on Monday, February 26, 2024, and it seems she woke up very tired, Yolanda says, and Jennifer told her boyfriend Stearns to take her home. I don't know if that's a faux pas of the translation dubbing tool, or if Yolanda really said home instead of Jenn telling Stearns to take Maddie to school. All of these untruths may have been what was related to Yolanda by Jenn via Stearns, but certain things are very similar to her daughter's interview. Like when Yolanda said that in her heart, she feels like someone took Maddie. Something was postponed until Saturday. You can hear Yolanda begin to say, before the reporter speaks over that part of the interview's audio, Yolanda talks about the false sighting of a girl who wasn't Maddie, who sat near a church in a green sweater for a while, for a few minutes, before getting up and heading to school. We know now from police that Maddie was never dropped off at or near school that morning. Each day that goes by,
this helps a lot to hear that again from Yolanda Zambrano. I think we only played that a little bit. We played it like once, but I want you to know the grandma was suspicious of Stephen Stearns. She did not want him at the birthday party. And yeah, she has the exact same story. Remember, she was on the 911 calls and you heard how worried she was. She knew something was wrong, everybody. She absolutely knew. She already knew she was honing in on Stephen Stearns. That's why they kicked him out. And yeah, the grandma had suspicions, but if you look at her and you see her, she has a facade to keep up. I also have background information about her that's not good. Now, I don't want to put the grandma in the spotlight at all. You guys can look her up yourself, but her facade and her looks are more important than the truth. And she could have let the truth come out and she could have said something.
Is worse, Yolanda said back then, talking about losing hope 3 days after Maddie went missing. We don't know what to do anymore, she said. Now that we know a bit more than we knew a couple of weeks ago when we first learned of Maddie going missing, all we can do is watch and pray and be patient as police perform their due diligence in getting justice for the young girl. Madeline's Mass was held on Wednesday, March 6th, 2024, and words of hope were offered in the midst of tragedy.
Tonight, we come together in our grief, but we also come together in our belief. Our belief that even in the face of the darkest tragedies, the light of our Lord continues to shine, offering healing.
Matthew 25:13. Therefore be on the alert, be prepared and ready, for you do not know the day nor the hour when the Son of Man will come.
All right, so let me do this. Let me stop this. We put that on. I'm gonna play that video again, everybody, real quick. It's not the same one. I think it's not the same one. It's going to be the original breaking news, and I think it's the one with Stephen behind her. Watch.
Madeline Soto. Why prosecutors are now calling for an investigation into this local sheriff, and how the story Madeline's mother provided law enforcement doesn't line up with what investigators know.
We spoke one-on-one with Jennifer Soto last Tuesday. Good afternoon. I'm Darlene Jones.
And I'm Greg Wormuth. At that point, her daughter Madeline had been missing for 1 day. She told us that Stephen Stearns, her boyfriend and now the prime suspect in Madeline's death, had taken the teenager to school. She said the last conversation she had with the 13-year-old was the night before. But this report we got a hold of today shows she told deputies she saw her daughter the morning of her disappearance. Channel 9 investigative reporter Shannon Butler has been digging into the details of this case. She joins us live in studio. And Shannon, that's not the only thing you noticed in this new report.
Listen up.
Greg, no one has been charged in Madeline Soto's death, but we do know investigators are looking into who knew what and when. And some of that means looking at those initial interviews of the couple and the ones later on. Sources tell me the statements about the timeline are not consistent.
Jennifer Soto told us last week that the last conversation she had with her daughter was about her 13th birthday party the night before Maddie disappeared.
I told her good night and yeah, that was it.
But according to documents, Sunday night was not the last time Soto saw Maddie. New documents show that Maddie's mom told deputies on February 26th that she saw her daughter getting dressed for school.
Listen up, guys. This is past information, but it's important.
At 8 o'clock that morning, and that her boyfriend then took the teen to school. But since that initial report was taken, we learned from the Orange County Sheriff that Maddie was likely dead early.
That's disgusting. That right there is disgusting. Look at that. That says 1,000 words, everybody. She's consoling Stephen Stearns about her daughter missing, and by now she must know.
Initial report was taken. We learned from the Orange County Sheriff that Maddie was likely dead earlier than that.
Our detectives have determined that Madeline was never dropped off. Instead, we believe she was already dead at the time and that Stephen Stearns moved her body in the early morning hours on that day.
Channel 9 has been going through statements from Stephen Stearns and Soto trying to piece together what happened in the last few hours of the little girl's life, starting with our interview of the couple. Her mom told us last week.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
But in that same interview, then said,
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. But yeah.
Detectives believe Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because the video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Stearns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Stearns' vehicle believed to be deceased. Since then, the case has moved to Kissimmee Police, and sources tell us that Soto has been interviewed multiple times by detectives at 2 agencies, and that they are looking closely at all the statements she's made. But officially, Kissimmee Police won't comment. So this initial report also shows that Stearns told investigators that after Maddie got out of his car, she stopped to look in that book bag before he drove away. That same book bag was found actually in the dumpster. After her death, he then said he went home for about an hour after going to the vape store and running errands. He was home that day until 2:30. Detectives say a tip showed him changing a flat tire not far from where the little girl's body was found that afternoon.
All right, Shannon, it is starting.
So this gives you a lot of information, and that was going like way back. We've dug into quite a bit so far, and you guys, that's going way back. So if you guys are here, I have 301 people in here. Please hit the like button. That's all I ask. You don't have to do anything else. Just hit the like button. Keep staying with me. Let's watch the interview with both of them. I'm going to speed it up a little, but I want you to see it. The news said a lot, and this was pre all of this stuff that's come out, everybody. And yes, they're going to have a trial, but we don't know if it's going to happen. I'm supposed to go to Florida for the trial, but I don't know how to plan it because I'm not really sure if it's going to happen, or then we just don't know. I'm going to speed this up, but I want you guys to watch this. Both of them, since you guys are here, let's talk about what you think. It's awful, everybody.
So the first question is if I can have your last name and spell them both out for me.
Okay. Jennifer Soto, JENNIFER SOTO.
Mother.
Mother.
Jennifer, tell me how you feel right now.
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is.
This is the second interview. So the one we just watched, she said 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. This time, listen to what she says that's different. So this is another video of her, not the same one.
Where is she? Is she safe? Is she okay? But we're all a wreck. My entire family is a mess. We're just so worried.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45 yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning. She went missing.
See, how does she know that she went missing then? Everybody, please tell me how they know that she went missing at 8:45 in the morning when she didn't go to school that day and they called her at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, supposedly. How does she know she went missing then? Is that like a big ding, ding, ding for you guys that she just said that?
We had dropped her off close to the school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
I hate this part.
Sorry for that.
It's not funny.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with.
This sounds like the Proudfoots and them talking about things they can't share. And Chris is very controlling, and he talks over Katie, and he says we can't share that. She's just very like meek, and she's trying to tell a story.
For detectives, not sure what that conversation is, but whichever you feel comfortable sharing, that we'll put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
What has the school said? Have you been in contact with the school?
Yes, that they're doing everything they can. They've given me all their resources. The principals called me. They've looked at their cameras. I don't think they've caught anything on the cameras that's too far away from the sidewalk. Everything is too grainy, so they can't see specific faces. But they looked. I'm just waiting to hear anything else from them.
Is this normal behavior?
Not
to
at all.
just not show up or call or text or anything?
Not at all, no. She, from time to time, she will leave her cell phone at home accidentally, and that's actually what happened yesterday. She left her phone at home. She went to school. But that happens from time to time. She's got ADHD, her memory. She's very forgetful. So yeah, there's no way to track her right now because the detectives don't have her phone. But this isn't normal behavior now.
What was the last thing, I guess, the conversation that you two had, you and your daughter?
We spoke about her birthday party. She had a birthday party on Sunday. She had a great time. I couldn't make it because I was working, but she had an amazing time. She was so happy with all her gifts. I told her good night, and yeah, that was it. I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner. Yeah.
13?
She's 13 years old. Yeah.
13, Madeline?
Madeline.
What are you thinking right now?
What story to tell? And she the person doing this interview had to tell her to say her name. She hadn't even said her name.
In my heart, I feel like somebody took her. This isn't like her to just pick up and run away, or just not go to school. I don't know what to think.
Friends, the friends' parents, you've contacted and went through every single person?
Everyone that we know that she knows, we've contacted them all, reached out to them. The parents have gone out to search and look for her as well. And we haven't come up with anything yet.
The
I see a lot
parents.
of posts on Facebook, Hunter Street, rants and raves and what have you. Did people say that they were going to conduct some type of like search party or anything?
A lot of people have asked me to volunteer, like if there is one, if they can do one. I have people passing out flyers, going to every store in that vicinity, a gas station, church. I think people were being stopped in the street this morning in front of the school to see if they've seen anything, if they've heard anything. My family they're going all out right now. Yeah.
I know as a mother,
The family's going all out, and we heard that in the 911 calls. Everybody, grandma was getting pissed at 911, and the aunt or her sister kept calling 911, was like, "Hey, where are you guys?" And Jenn was in the background giving a description of what her daughter was wearing. I don't even know how accurate it was.
a lot is going on in your brain to bring her back home. What have the law enforcement told you that you are able to share?
I mean, that they're doing the best that they can. They've had detectives come out, interview us. They took a piece of her clothing for the canine dog to see if they can sniff her out. I'm not sure when that's being done.
To sniff her out, the canine dog came to sniff her out, which means that they're looking for a body more than likely. And now we know it is. But the way she's saying it, look at that face. She looks scared. She's not looking sad or nervous that her daughter's missing. She looks scared that the canine dogs are going to find her, everybody.
Do you have any inkling where she possibly could be? Like if you would say, okay, last time I went to work and came back, she was at Jane's house or Sabrina's house, and maybe I forgot to check that house, or she played.
Okay, I have to stop this for a second. Tamra, I did know that Tyler was going to have an interview. This is the first interview that the father has had. It's Tyler and Tatiana. Can somebody send me a link so we can play that interview? I had the advocate for that family on my channel last week. So I need that interview if somebody has it. If not, I'll look for it right now. I definitely need to have the interview so we can watch it right now. I did know it was happening, but I didn't know it was out. And I wasn't supposed to say anything, but now that it's out, now I could say something. Guess what, guys? It's there. We can watch it together. I'll look for it, but if somebody can text it to me, that'd be great. Or put it in the link, or put it in the chat. I'm sorry. All right, let's finish this. I'll look for it real quick.
This part 1 week, and maybe she went back there or something like that.
We've looked everywhere we could have thought, and anywhere she would have been. She would have known to wait for me at the school. But we did check where if she could have walked. My mom's office is close to the school. We checked there. We checked the walking paths that she could have taken. We've checked all of her friend's house. I think we've checked everywhere I could think of, honestly.
What do you think? Oh gosh, I just had it tip my tongue. What was she wearing?
She was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, white Crocs, a black Jan Sport backpack with gray hibiscus flowers on it.
And you said this is not like her.
Not at all.
To run away, an argument, anything like that to provoke her?
She's never done anything like this, no. And we haven't had any arguments recently to have this outcome.
What school?
Hunters Creek Middle School.
Tom, any questions? Yeah. Is there anything that you think our viewers would need to know about the way you're feeling, the way the family's feeling, Madeline?
We are desperate for any answers, anything that you can do to help. I'm here for it. Just please, if you see my daughter, just please bring her home. I just hope you're okay, Maddie. I hope you're safe. I hope you're not hurt. I just hope she's okay.
When did you notice that she was missing? Because this was at the beginning of the morning.
She got dropped off in the morning. We did not notice until after school pickup at 4 o'clock when I went to go pick her.
If anybody has that, please message me. I knew it was coming out, but I want to play with you now. We had the advocate of the dad, which is a bio dad, Tyler Wallace. So if you can look for Tyler Wallace, Madeline Soto, Channel 9 News, that'd be great. I'm looking for it now.
And she wasn't at school.
So we're going in 24 hours now.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. No word. No text message. No messages anywhere from her. I've looked at all her social medias. I've looked at all her games she could have played with. Any app. No weird conversations. No. Nothing strange. Everything was conversations with just normal friends or us.
Did she knows how to get home by herself? As if, like, let's just say, take a bus or an Uber or something like that. She would know how to get home alone, correct?
I'm not sure. I don't know if she would know how to get home. Maybe, I mean, I'm thinking if someone got in the car with her and if she pointed the way, what roads, she probably could figure out how to get, but like, does she know her full address? I don't think she does.
Jojo, could you put it in the chat or send it to Carly so I can put it on? We can watch it together. Jojo for show. If you had my number, I'd have you text me, but I can't put it up on this.
Which would give me it just puts in my brain that she always comes home with someone.
She always comes home with me.
There's no need for her to really learn. Okay. And you said no time? He knows everything. All right, the first question is if I can get your first and last name and spell them both out for me.
Stephen Stearns, Stephan Stearns. All
right, so Stephan, you seem very emotional right now. Explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. So last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
Jojo, I want to watch it, but I need you to send it to my email. It's guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. I can't find where you sent it to. So if you can email it to me, I don't know. I have like 7 different platforms that people are sending me stuff.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she could be. And we're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
What has the conversation been with Jenn since?
She's been a lot stronger than me. She's been holding it together really well. And, but it just keeps coming in waves. This is the reality keeps hitting. We don't know where she is. We don't know if she's safe. We're just scared. We just want her home.
Have you, like, literally put boots on the ground, went out?
Yeah, I even went out with the cops where I had dropped her off. And we looked all up and down the road, all on communities, and there was nothing helpful. None of the cameras were pointing the street. Nothing, which in 2024 was surprising. The church across the street had some cameras, and they mentioned seeing her waiting around in the parking lot for a while before moving on, and that was it. But it was grainy footage, and not much else.
Did it say like she walked west, east?
They said in the direction of the school. I'm not sure what that is.
What was the language? Not language verbally, language, body language. When you dropped her off, did she seem happy? Was she like, I'm going to meet my friends?
Happy. She had a happy weekend. She just turned 13. She had a 13th birthday party. She was happy that we were all together here, and she was just very happy. She was a happy kid. She's very sweet. She's a very sweet girl. She brings a lot of joy to us, and we just not knowing.
So the unknown is killing you.
Yeah, it's like
I don't have it. JoJo for show. I don't know what happened, but it's not coming in my email. I'm not really sure. Yeah, if you could send it to, again, Guilty of Crime by Jay. I hate that when that happens and we hate him. Please send it to my Guilty of Crime by Jay at gmail.com. Let's finish this and then we'll watch that.
Like our whole world is upside down. Not feeling her presence here is. Sorry. It's hard.
I know you're fine. Don't need to apologize. What do you want our viewers to know when they see this?
She's a sweetheart. She's a very sweet, kind girl. Just please be nice to her. Bring her home if you find her. Tell her that we love her. Wherever she is, I hope she's okay.
I mean, if someone were to come in contact with her and you gave me her diagnoses, would it be easy to approach her without any like agitation or anything?
Yeah. She's a good kid. She's a good kid.
If you can sum up in one complete sentence, waking up, getting ready to drop her off at school, dropping her off at school, to now speaking to me after talking to the police about her being missing for over 24 hours right now. In one complete sentence, what would that be?
A living nightmare.
Nothing.
It's a living nightmare. Day started off like any other. I just want to wake up. You just get hit with waves of the reality just setting in. As soon as it got dark last night, we started falling apart. We knew it wasn't going to come to an end. And now we're going on 24 hours and still nothing.
Can somebody send me that email, please? I literally don't have it. It's Guilty of Crime by just the letter J at gmail.com. Please. I want to play that right now. We know the advocate of the parents, and I have things to talk about. We have the interview this weekend, and I got it. So you guys want to? We're almost done with this. Let's watch that next.
Here and there, people say
Here it goes.
This or that. None of it's conclusive. And none of it's helpful. We just want our baby girl back.
Tom, any questions?
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna do this together, everybody. Let's thank you, JoJo, for show. We now get to see the dad and how he looks up to date. I could see saying that he misses her so much, and hopefully we can. It's right here, everybody. Thank you so much.
Speaking
All right.
about the life and tragedy at 6.
There
For
he
the
is.
first time, the biological father of Madeline Soto is speaking about the life and tragic death of his
Thank you.
13-year-old daughter.
I love what I had of her, but we were supposed to have so much more.
Only Channel 9 sat down with the grief.
All right, guys, we have 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Madeline looked a lot like her dad. Check out her dad. He's a grieving father and a veteran, and he's seeking out help right now. So please don't say anything bad about him. He only wants the best, and he's been doing everything. He was at the funeral. He's been to the memorial. He's going to be at the vigil. So please.
Grieving father. He says the morning after he was told Maddie was missing, he got on the road and drove straight through from Texas to
Let's start again.
The biological father of Madeline Soto is speaking about the life and tragic death of his 13-year-old daughter.
I love what I had of her, but we were supposed to have so much more.
Only Channel 9 sat down with the grieving father. He says the morning after he was told Maddie was missing, he got on the road and drove straight through from Texas to Central Florida, 14 hours, looking for his daughter. Good evening. I'm Greg Warmuth.
And I'm Darlene Jones. We have been following this story since Madeline was first reported missing in late February. She never showed up for class at Hunters Creek Middle School. The day after, Only Channel 9 spoke with both Madeline's mother and her boyfriend, who you see here, Stephen Stearns. He is now in jail on sexual battery charges. Madeline's body was found here in a wooded area of St. Cloud last month. No one has been charged in this little girl's death. Today, Only Channel 9's investigative reporter Shannon Butler sat down with Madeline's father as well as her stepmother and grandmother. She's live now in the studio, and Shannon, certainly an emotional and
Thank you, JoJo, for show. I knew this was happening, but I couldn't share it. There's things I can't say, and thank you so much. This just happened today.
interview.
Yeah, it was a difficult interview for him, but he wanted people to know about his daughter and even their sometimes complicated relationship. And he's urging the public to be patient. He has confidence that investigators will bring whoever killed Madeline Soto to justice. Tell me about your daughter.
Maddie was just the most important person to my wife and I. She was just full of joy.
Tyler Wallace had last spoken to his daughter on her birthday. He had no idea it would be the last time.
How did you find out?
I was informed through a phone call from Jennifer that she was missing.
What was her demeanor?
Jennifer's?
Was she calm? Was she
No.
freaking out?
I would say anxious.
The next morning, he got in his car and drove from Texas to Florida, only stopping for gas. But shortly after he got here, Madeline Soto's body was found in this rural area of Osceola County. Her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, is charged with sexual battery and possession of child sex abuse material. He is the main suspect in her murder after investigators say Stearns is on video dumping her backpack and laptop in a dumpster in the early morning hours of the day Maddie was reported missing.
Did your daughter ever indicate that something was going on in that house?
Not to me, no.
What did you think of Stephen Stearns?
I had interacted with him on Instagram a couple of times loosely, just kind of seeing if he gave me the ick or if he seemed okay. And as far as I was interpreting his demeanor, he seemed like a warm, interested, but like not responsive very often person.
What do you think of him now?
I don't want to say that on camera. I can't communicate to you. Every father knows what I'm thinking right now.
Yesterday, Tyler met with Kissimmee police about their ongoing investigation.
But do you think that Jennifer Soto knows more?
I don't know, and I am interested in knowing, but I don't have reason to believe one way or the other right now. These are the things that the investigators are looking into.
There's so much more to that interview. We sat with that family for about 90 minutes today. They are in town not only to try to get those ashes, but there is a community vigil tomorrow that they are planning on attending.
This is the vigil I'm talking about. If you look on my page, everybody, there's a vigil tomorrow. It's at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have the address because it was where her body was left. I'm going to play that again for people that just came in. This just happened today, everybody. They're in town in Florida from Texas to go to the vigil. That's what I was telling you about. It's been all over my channel. It's on my upcoming streams. And yeah, that's happening. The dad really does love her, and he's trying to get justice for his daughter. Let me rewind on it just a little bit. if I can.
And I am interested in
It's not
knowing.
YouTube. It's just
Suspect in her
all right,
murder
there it is.
after investigators say Stearns is on video dumping her backpack and laptop in a dumpster in the early morning hours of the day Maddie was reported missing.
Did your daughter ever indicate that something was going on in that house?
Not to me, no.
What did you think of Stephen Stearns?
I had interacted with him on Instagram a couple of times loosely, just kind of seeing if he gave me the ick or if he seemed okay. And
The dad was in her life, everybody, but he lived in Texas. Jenn lived in Florida. And right now, I'm hearing that there may be things that Jenn wasn't letting. There's talk about Jenn not letting him get all of his time in. So we'll know as he talks.
And as far as I was interpreting his demeanor, he seemed like a warm, interested, but like not responsive, very often person.
What do you think of him now?
I don't want to say that on camera. I can't communicate to you. Every father knows what I'm thinking right now.
Yesterday, Tyler met with Kissimmee police about their ongoing investigation.
But do you think that Jennifer Soto knows more?
I don't know, and I am interested in knowing, but I don't have reason to believe one way or the other right now. These are the things that the investigators are looking into.
I wish he wasn't so passive, but I think he's hurting. If it was me, I might be like that. Or once you get past the grieving, you just want to cuss, but I think he's a veteran and he can keep his emotions restrained. So I think he's just not wanting to mess up the investigation.
There's so much more to that interview. We sat with that family for about 90 minutes today. They are in town not only to try to get those ashes, but there is a community vigil tomorrow that they are planning on attending. They just couldn't believe how much community support they did receive.
You asked the questions that so many are asking, and this is another question.
Thank you.
Does the father of Maddie wonder why no murder charges have been filed yet? It seems like that should be the logical next step.
So he met with investigators yesterday down at Kissimmee Police. He said he didn't get a lot of information. This is an ongoing investigation, but he said he needs to be patient. So does everybody. He believes that these things will come at some point, but he realizes this is a heavy lift for Kissimmee Police. And he's not wondering why, he's just waiting for them.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like it's not going to happen. It's just when.
Yes, but he does have a lot of other questions about the investigation, about things that happened. Those we'll get to later on.
I can't wait to see the rest of that interview. Great reporting there. Incredible insight from, Maddie's biological father.
Wow, what a story. All right.
Yeah, I wish there was more, everybody. I really do. I wish there was more of an interview, but I'm sure there's going to be. And I wanted to come on here and let you know about the vigil tomorrow. I mean, I'm waiting for Jenny Esquivel to get back to me, and I haven't heard back from her yet today. She's doing a lot of setup for the memorial. It's an on-site memorial, and the memorial is going to be where the vigil is. So I put the flyer up of that, everybody, and I put the flyer up so that if you're in town, you can go. I wanted to go out there, and I was invited by the advocacy group. However, the tickets were really expensive and very last minute. So I wasn't able to get flight tickets, and it was going to be a long day. So I'd like to be out there for the, let me lower this a little bit. I had it on 100. I'd like to go out there for the trial, but I don't know if it's going to happen either. And thank you, Jojo, for sending that. I think we can find the rest of the video now that we're able to know that the dad was in an interview. And Melly, Michelle, you're right. The dad's a veteran. We know that. He's seeking counseling, and he's got the advocacy group helping him. He's devastated. So he doesn't want to mess up the investigation. He's trained to stay calm, although I think he wants to tear Stephen Stearns apart. We all want to, not just the dads. And maybe he does feel guilty because he couldn't help Maddie. I think we all feel guilty. We don't even know her. I feel like we all feel like, man, we could have done something. We would have took her. We would have helped, but we didn't know. Yeah, I mean, so many things, everybody. And yeah, it's awesome. It is awesome that I got an invite to go, but it's because they want me to have a voice for them. Jenny came on here, and she'd like me to be involved, and I'd love to. I wish I wasn't in California and they were in Florida, but I will definitely go to the trial if it happens. I'm looking for tickets right now. If anybody, there's 328 people on here. If anybody has, let me put my guilty of crime by Jay. If anybody works for an airline or has some kind of discounts or tickets or anything, I want to go to the trial in Florida. I'm in California. Email me. Let me know if you got any kind of, it would be great. Yeah, Jenny is absolutely great. Let me know if you have discount tickets or you work for an airline or anything you could do to get me from California to Florida next month for the trial so I can cover what I can. They said they would try to get me a ticket in to be able to see it. And if they let me stream, they let people stream in there. So if they let me stream, I will stream. If I can't get in there, then I'll stream from the outside and let you know what's going on. But I need to get there to be able to do it. So the advocacy group doesn't want to really be the face of this, this investigation. There's only so many things they can say, and they can't say everything, but they can tell me what I can say and I can say it. So if anybody has, hookups on tickets, you work for an airline, you have points that you don't use or are going to expire, let me know. Sadie's mama, you'll try to meet me in Orlando. That would be great. I just got to get there and I need to figure out all the other stuff. So yeah, definitely Cash App will help. Anything will help. I'm going to have to pay for the rest of what I can't. So anybody that has the means to donate, please don't put yourself out. I will go there. They offered me a room. The advocacy group offered me a hotel and a car to get back and forth where I need to go. So I put my Cash App below. PayPal, I don't use PayPal that much, but if you use it, Venmo, it's just at J/Scott. Cash App's $ twisted J. Anything will help, and I definitely will go and I'll stream and I'll talk to you guys. And yeah, JetBlue, they don't have that many flights, but thank you, MFAR. I will check that out. And if I don't know if the certain circumstance would work for me because I don't know, but thank you for the information. I will check it out. I think for like a death or an emergency, they would let you. The tickets, it was too much this time. It would have been $1,000 for my daughter and I, or over 1,000, and it was a 5-hour layover, very last minute. So the tickets, I'm gonna say, if I plan for next month, I could probably get them for like, I don't know, $1,200. I can look. You guys can look too from San Jose, California to Florida. Kissimmee, I don't know where the airport is Orlando. I can look it up and share that with you guys. That would be awesome. But B. Wilson, you say, man, it'd be amazing to have you represent Maddie for all of us. That's what Jenny and her team has said. I've talked to them and they really want me to cover this exclusively for them. There's going to be news stations, but they're not going to be able to talk to the news stations or have access to what they want said and what they don't want said. And I do, because I talk to them on the phone. They email me, text me, all that stuff. So, if anybody can, thank you, Cheech. Orlando. I've only been to Florida once, and it was to Disney World. It was under good circumstances, and it is very expensive. MCO Airport. It was expensive because I was last minute. I would have had to go tomorrow, and it was Carly helped me look at tickets, and it was expensive. So I don't know if I'm planning a month ahead. We'll see, but I am planning a month ahead. I believe the trial is May 13th, so it's a month and a day from now. There are 326 people. Everybody, there's only watching and only 20 likes. What happened? Maybe you guys don't like the content, or you don't realize that you got to hit the like button when you come in. Please smash that like button so this content can get out there and people can see it. And B. Wilson, I don't want you to be in tears, but thank you. I want to be there. I hope that you're around. I hope anybody that can go makes it. I asking, or I don't want people to put themselves out, but if somebody has hookups, let me know. Linda says Maddie didn't confide in her dad and stepmom. I wonder why. Obviously afraid it was going on for so long. Well, anybody that has CSA will tell you children just, it's not about the parents, her being comfortable. It's about her and not knowing how to say it. So I know people personally that have been sexually abused and they don't feel comfortable saying it because they don't want to be blamed, things like that. It's not about who's around them and if they feel comfortable, it's about them. So yeah, I'm supposed to have a guest that had CSA and have the repercussions of it. So we know now what happens after. Let's say you continue living with that, what the repercussions are, what therapy looks like, how long the effects are, and so forth. So I'm going to do that. I have this lady an email and she wants to share her story and we're going to relate it to this case. And what would have happened to Maddie if she wouldn't have been killed and she could have gotten out of this. Stephen Stearns get arrested and her maybe have therapy for a long, long time. But we don't know because she's not alive, everybody. Yeah, I hope that I can help with the family, and I'm glad her dad's speaking out. Jenny is advocating for her, and I might be back on in an hour tonight. I got to reach out. I got to reach out to Jenny and see what she has. And MFAR, I know Florida is the murder capital of the world. So you say be careful going unless you know there'll be some motion in the case. You get all the way to Florida and it be postponed. Yes, that's what my dilemma is. But even if I go, I can go hang out with the advocacy group, go to the memorial, film on site, and get some real inside information, everybody. So even if I go and it doesn't happen, I can still make some traction there. There will never be a wasted trip all the way to Florida. Trust me. I also have the crime crew here. That's pretty freaking great. You guys will help direct me on things in the area. All right, I'm going to answer a few more questions and then I'm going to get out of here, pick up my daughter, and come back at 6:30 if I have information. Marianne says, I heard the stepmother thought something was up and asked Maddie age. She was fine. So sorry she didn't feel able to talk. I agree. She looks so much like her dad, everybody. That's the first time I saw her dad like live talking, like with not just a still picture. And oh my God. So sad. Cindy says, be safe. Thank you. Shauna, Maddie was definitely tired. You could see it in her eyes. He knew she was ready to get him. Yeah, I know it's probably a typo, but I don't know. A lot of people that were unfortunately SA'd as a child, most now drug abusers. It tears me up. I agree. Well, we're going to have somebody on here that tells us, everybody, if you can do me a favor, hit that like button, help the community grow, help us get Maddie's voice, Sebastian's voice. I also am going to do an interview with somebody that's not related to the case, but we're going to relate it to the case. She was sexually abused and she wants to come on here and talk to you guys about the repercussions, why she thinks Maddie was silent, and what happens when you're sexually assaulted as a child. What happens later? Yeah. All right, everybody. Missy Frederick's car. The last words I heard from the story was that the autopsy would not be released to public. Yeah, because Maddie's a minor. But we're going to see if the dad, what he lets come out and what he doesn't. And if he doesn't let it come out, guess what? I wouldn't let it come out either. So hopefully I'll be back on at 6:30. Hit that like button on your way out. Comment if you can. Just you say hi, whatever. Let's get in the algorithm. Love you all. Love the crime crew. Thank you, JoJo, for show. Carly. Love every single one of you.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?